According to FDIC, in 2019, 5.4% of US households, that is approximately 7.1 million households, did not have a bank account. If you are in this category, I want you to watch until the end of this video for the 4 reasons why a prepaid debit card might be a good alternative product for your needs. Hey guys, my name is Annie Margarita Yang, and this video is part 2 in a 4-part series about prepaid debit cards. So please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications when future videos come out. My channel is mainly dedicated to giving you personal finance advice that works, tried and true, especially if you earn a low income, because I know for sure that people who are earning a low income are definitely underserved by the personal finance industry. And I come from a background where I spent several years of my life working a whole string of minimum wage or low wage jobs just so I can try to maximize the limited resources that I had so that I could build the life that I could want, slowly by slowly. So I'm trying to give you advice that works here, and that is why you should subscribe to my channel. So in regards to prepaid debit cards, are they a right fit for you? Well, if you're in that 5.4% of US households that do not have a bank account, here is why I think prepaid debit cards might be a good alternative for you. So the first reason why I say a prepaid debit card is an option for you if you're unbanked is that people who earn a low income are less likely to have a bank account. And so the statistic is that on average, 19% of households with a family income of less than $30,000 are unbanked, compared to just 2.4% of households making more than $30,000 annually. And the most common reason cited for not having a bank account on low income is that a lot of banks nowadays, they require this minimum balance. And if you don't meet that minimum balance, then they're going to charge you a monthly maintenance fee. And this minimum balance could be over $500. And, why let the bank force you to just have a balance of $500 to avoid a monthly fee when you could really use that money sometimes, right? If you're someone who just happens to fall into this category for not having a bank account, I do have a video that you might want to check out. It's called How to Choose a Bank on a Low Income. So I tell you about the 5 things that you should always look for when searching for a bank, and you might come across community banks that have lower, easier to meet requirements to avoid fees. So that might be an option for you. But again, prepaid debit cards could also be an option for you if that's the reason why you don't have a bank account. The second reason why prepaid debit cards might be a good option for you is that banks have inconvenient locations or limited business hours that don't necessarily cater to you as a customer. And here is a statistic that really proves my point. According to S&P Global data, banks have shut 1,915 more branches in lower income areas than they have opened between 2014 and 2018, with JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America at the front of the trend. So they definitely do not consider you guys a target customer if they're closing more branches in lower income areas. I remember when I was 20 years old, I was working a job that paid me $10 an hour, and I had a community bank as my bank. So community banks, their technology isn't that up to date. Their ATMs were not capable of taking deposits, cash deposits, unlike a bigger bank like Chase Bank or Bank of America. So this is back then. And, at that time, my job, I worked the hours from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening. And I mean, a bank that's open 9 to 4 or 9 to 5, I would never really get a chance to go to the bank unless they were open on a Saturday when I didn't have to work, So the hours are just so inconvenient for me. And when you're earning such a low income, I mean, the way I think about it, so when you're earning a low income and you don't have much skill to command for more money, I went about it by trying to work more hours. So I made up for it by working longer instead of trying to make up for it in terms of the hourly wage. but that also meant I couldn't access the bank as well. And I'm pretty sure that is a common problem for a lot of you guys. So a prepaid debit card, you can make deposits into this prepaid debit card with cash at Walmart, 7-Eleven, CVS, Rite Aid, and those places are open early and open late, so you know for sure that if you can't access a bank, then you can always access a place like that. The third reason is the check system. The check system is kind of like the bank's version of the 3 credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, except it's used by banks for opening bank accounts. So if you bounced too many checks or you failed to pay your bank fees, then your bank is going to put you into the check system. And you are going to get blacklisted by most banks from opening a new account with them for the next 5 to 7 years. So having a prepaid debit card is kind of like a temporary alternative that you can use before you can open a new bank account again after you've built up your history again with banks by paying your bills on time and stuff like that. The reason a prepaid debit card could be a temporary solution for you before you could open up a bank account again is because there is no credit score or credit history, no credit check whatsoever needed to get a prepaid debit card. So it's really easy for you to get one compared to opening up a bank account. So that's why it's my recommendation for you. The fourth reason is actually kind of interesting. So if you distrust the banking system, and there are some people in our society who distrust the banking system for whatever reason, I'm not here to judge, then a prepaid debit card could be an option for you for one of those few times you just want to buy something online because you can't use cash to buy stuff online. So, my mom kind of falls into this category. She does not trust the banking system, even though I think the banking system here in the United States is just fine, but she grew up in China living under communism. So she's always had this fear that the government is just going to raid her bank account. So she doesn't want to have bank accounts. She doesn't want to have a credit card. So she's totally someone who's just unbanked. But I would say that if you're someone who's like my mom, and my mom doesn't take my financial advice, but if you're someone who's like my mom, then you might want to get a prepaid debit card for one of those few times you want to buy stuff online. You could deal mostly with cash, spend with cash, budget with cash for most stuff, but to be able to buy stuff online, you can always just, one of those few times, go into that participating store, load your card with the cash, as much as you need, and then just spend it online. So that's why I'm recommending a prepaid debit card if you fall under the category of just distrusting the banking system for whatever reason. Alright guys, that's basically it for this video. Again, this is part 2 in a 4-part series about prepaid debit cards. The next video is going to be about the best prepaid debit cards that you can get with little to no fees. I spent 2 hours of my life researching endlessly to find you the best prepaid debit cards. So please, please, please subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. As always, all the information on my YouTube channel is free for you. But if you do want to support my channel financially, please do buy my book, 1001 Ways to Save Money. Quit flushing your hard-earned money down the toilet on Amazon. And if you've already bought it, please leave me a review. It would totally make my day. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. And I wish you a very prosperous day today, and I will see you next time. Bye.